Welcome back to Your Voice, Your Vote coverage tonight. In addition to the candidates vying for office this midterm election, several statewide issues are on the ballot.
That's right. Let's start with Proposition FF. Now, this would provide free school meals for all Colorado public school students, regardless of their income. It's would be paid for by reducing the tax deductions, technically, for those making over $300,000 a year. And right now, it's yes for free school meals.
Of the three alcohol-related issues on the ballot, Prop 126 would allow for third-party delivery of alcoholic beverages, making permanent a current COVID-related policy that allows restaurants and bars to offer alcohol takeout and delivery. That one's going down.
All right, Prop 125 allows grocery stores and convenience stores, the ones that currently sell beer, to also sell wine. And right now, that is tight. Got a couple of tight races tonight.
Prop 124 gradually increasing the number of retail liquor licenses a business can hold until limits are completely phased out. That one is going down as well right now.
All right, what do you say we move on to mushrooms? One of the most contentious initiatives. Prop 122 would make the biggest change to Colorado drug laws since pot was legalized. So this would decriminalize the use of a lot of psychedelics, including psychedelic mushrooms for those over 21. And right now that is on the way to passing, but there's still a good chunk of votes to be counted on that. All right, back here in the studio, joined by Denver 7 political reporter Megan Lopez. So let's focus on the local balance of power in the State House.
And for the local balance of power, what you're really going to be watching is the state Senate. The state House, the Democrats have a pretty commanding lead. It's 41 seats to about 24 seats at this currently. If they do go ahead and win, even a fraction of those seats, they'll be able to hold. So Republicans aren't really targeting that in particular in order to win. They're really targeting the state Senate. So far, what we're seeing in the 7 races that they were expecting to be close or that they were hoping to flip in some way, we're seeing Democrats kind of take control. So in terms of the balance of power, 35 seats up in the Senate are in the Senate, 17 are up for grabs. Democrats were favored to win 4 of those. Republicans were favored to win 6. So talking about those 7, I mean, you've got some like Senator Nick Heinrichsen in District 3 in Pueblo. He's doing really well right now. He's holding the seat for Leroy Garcia. You also have Representative Dylan Roberts in District 8. This is more of the mountain communities. He's doing really well right now. He's beating Matt Solomon by about 9,000 votes or so, 8,000 votes. The interesting thing about this portion of the district is that Matt Solomon, the Republican, is doing well in Moffett, Rio Blanco, Garfield, and Jackson, while Dylan Roberts is doing well in Routt, Grand, Summit, Eagle, which is where he's from, Clear Creek, and Gilpin counties. This one was one of the ones that Republicans said that they had to win in order to take control of the state Senate, and it just looks like that state Senate balance of power is going to stay with the Democrats if these numbers hold up, and that red wave that we've been hearing about nationally just isn't even reaching the state house at this point, guys.
All right, we know you'll keep watching. Thank you, Megan. Now let's focus on the national balance of power. And while Colorado's races are largely going as anticipated, Tony, the national race for power in Congress still very much on the line tonight.
Well, on the Senate side, and they were talking about 10 competitive races, and either side winning 5, they would get power back. Right now, according to the New York Times, both Colorado and New Hampshire have gone Democrat. North Carolina and Ohio have gone Republican. We are waiting on Arizona, Georgia, and Nevada. Those will be the deciding factors on the Senate side. And then when we look at the House balance of power, that also, with 65 competitive races, 49 have to go Democrat in order for the Democrats to remain in power and in the House. And when we look here in Colorado and those races and those numbers, you've talked about it. We've been looking closely at that 3rd district, and right now it's about an 8,000 vote difference between Adam Frisch and Lauren Boebert. That number closer than we expected, but again, we've been saying all along we expect Republican numbers and Republican votes, Pueblo and other spots, to come in later, so that will decide that. And then 8th Judicial, that is an absolute dogfight. It's been between 3,000 and 4,000 votes all night long. So those two will have a large part of that balance of power in the House. And Shannon?
All right, Tony, thank you very much. And let's dig deeper on the governor's races. Voters in 3 dozen states, including, of course, here in Colorado, had gubernatorial races. Our Joe St. George reports from Washington.
There have been some big-name governors nationally cruising to re-election tonight. In Ohio, incumbent Republican Governor Mike DeWine has won re-election. In Florida, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis has won. In Colorado, incumbent Democratic Governor Jared Polis has won re-election. Remember, these governors face some pretty crucial decisions during the COVID pandemic. They faced a lot of criticism over lockdowns or decisions at times. Thus far tonight, blowback has been minimal, at least when it comes to that issue. However, there still remains close races in states like Wisconsin, Nevada, Michigan, and New York. Incumbent Democratic governors are waiting anxiously for results there. However, Republicans have suffered their first major disappointment of the night in Colorado. That's because incumbent Democratic Senator Michael Bennet has won re-election in that state. Many conservatives nationally had been hoping that a red wave would sweep across the Rocky Mountains, impact a pretty blue state like Colorado. That is not the case this evening. It suggests that if a red wave does occur when this election's all said and done, it may not be as big as some Republicans had hoped. Remember, though, we're simply not going to know the full picture when it comes to the U.S. Senate this evening. Races in states like Pennsylvania are simply too close. We may have a better understanding of where things stand in the House of Representatives, however. If Republicans do take back that chamber, as some have forecasted, it would mean new political debates in this country over everything from IRS funding to the border. It would also be a lot harder for President Biden to get his agenda accomplished. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
All right, so there are 2 congressional races here in Colorado that have not been called. This one is the closest right now, with Yadira Caraveo still with a narrow lead over Barbara Kirkmeyer, and we'll be right back.